Hello everyone, I am Beth Skeldon. Welcome to my channel. I am so excited today because I get to play with a new to me product, which are the aqua inks, some of the art crayons, as well as the mixed media art spray. And this is all by Marabu. And we're going to make a print today using all of this fun stuff, or a couple prints, I should say. But these are awesome. This is a highly pigmented watercolor ink, and you can paint with this. I'm going to show you how to use it on your gel press. In fact, I'm going to show you how to use this on your gel press and this on your gel press and also these on your gel press. But to get started, I want to create a 8x10 roughly print that I can use to display matted for the fall. And I want to first create a background. So I'm just going to take on watercolor paper, and I am just using watercolor paper from a big notebook journal that I got on sale at Michael's. It's literally the same stuff that you would use in the packs by art companies. So I am like, well, I just want to save some money. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to lay down a couple spots with some colors here. I'm trying to do more of like the predominantly yellows because of fall, right? So I want it to be more of a fall type color. So I'm just going to lay that out. And this does smudge really nice. These art crayons do. So they're water reactive. But before I do that, I'm just going to take and smudge out some of this yellow. See how beautiful it just smudges out. Plus, I really like the barrel of the ink, like of the crayon itself. It feels, has like a lipstick texture to it. And the barrel, look at that. It's so nice. It like fits real nice in your hand. So I'm really, and then if you want more, you just roll it up. So this is really nice. Like I would think of a comparable product like gelatos or something. And the gelatos are like chapstick, and they're not always easy to hold. And this really is really nice, beautiful, vibrant color. So, and I do have some green, which I'm going to lay down next, also on my little sponge from a previous play session. So I do have these. I think that this is from the Jungle collection. So I do have these two greens, and I'm going to actually go with this darker green right here. And I'm just going to pop some of that into the white area, some of the white areas. And I don't really care if it's like absolutely gorgeous at this point. I'm just literally creating a background for my print. And then I'm just going to smudge that out as well. Like so. But look how fun. I mean, it's nice because it also really, it kind of does hold its shape real nice too. Like you can still see some of the line in it. You couldn't so much with the yellow because it was lighter. And then I'm just going to add little pops of this gorgeous aqua green. So I'm just going to do like around my edges on this one. So I went around my edges with it just to give a little bit of darkness to it, a little bit of shadowing, shading, and then I just popped a couple of these little lines through here, and I really like what that looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and like pop some more lines through with some different colors, and not really worry too much about getting, you know, my sponge dirty and cross-contaminated, so to speak. But I'm just wanting just to add a little bit, and I'm going heavier obviously on the yellow. And then I'm just going to take my sponge through and just rub it all through like so to create this background. And then I'm going to just take my water and just squirt some water on because it is water reactive. And that's going to actually move a little bit. So using a baby wipe, I'm just gonna kind of dab that, get some of that up, and just even kind of rub it out a little bit just to blend it all through like so. And now I think we are ready to dry this and move on to the next step. So I'm going to take my heating tool, which is this one, not an embossing tool, but a heat tool. This is by Ranger. And I'm going to go ahead and just dry this so we can move on to our next. I think that's dry enough. Something you want to keep in mind when you are drying your project is to flip it over and dry the back too, because oftentimes the water will seep down through the back. And it's not always important if you are working with a completely dry project or substrate or not, but sometimes it is. So just always flip it over and dry the back too. So that's just a little tip for you today. So from here, we're going to get into the gel press, and I'm going to set my crayons aside. I'm done using these for now, and I'm going to get into the aqua paint and also these fabulous sprays. So we're going to finish this project off, and then I'm going to show you how you can actually do this on some copy paper as well. But for this project, since I was laying down those art crayons and using water, I wanted to make sure that I had a piece of paper that could withstand that. So that's why I decided to use the watercolor paper. And I think that the prints will look nicer on the wall on this type paper. So I have pulled out my large gel press plate. This is the retro leaves. It is an embedded leaf design on a gel press plate. So it is a bit thinner than your regular gel press because of course the embossing on the top takes some of that size and width for the added texture. Then I also have over here a little 5x7 plate that I'm going to use to help me lay out my first step. And that is my clear gesso. So I'm just going to take some clear gesso and put it off onto this plate like so. And I'm going to pick it up with my brayer and just pick some of that up. And then I'm going to apply it over here onto my gel plate. And since my substrate is smaller than my gel press plate, I'm not so concerned about getting it all covered. Now I'm going to go and just add on some of this spray. And this is that wonderful acrylic spray, and it's in lemon. Now I love me some bright colors, as you guys may know. So I'm just really gonna put that spray down. And then I want to add little splats of some more folly type colors. So I'm going to pull out the aqua ink, which is the Magneta, and I'm going to just take and put my brush in like so. I don't even have to dip it entirely because I'm just gonna splat, and I'm just gonna go all kind of all over, just splatting it out onto my retro leaves. Okay, and then I want to take my baby wipe, clean that off because I want to go in now with some vermilion. And you always want to give these like a really good shake, okay? Super important that you give them a good shake. And this is a messy technique, no doubt about that. And then from here, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to go on in, pick some up, and splat this color around. And what the gesso is doing is it is allowing the color to lay a little bit more evenly. It doesn't pull as much as it would if it wasn't down, but as you can tell, in some spots it is pulling, and that's just normal because this is a very wet medium that we're using. Okay, and it's on top of a gel press plate, which retains moisture as well. All right, so I think I'm good with that. I'm just going to set that aside. And I'm going to take my print now that I had done, or not my print, but my background that I had done, and we're just going to lay it out like so, and then just push it on there. Now this is super wet, and I can feel that it would slide if I let it, so I'm being a little bit careful with it. All right, let's see what we got. Voila. How cool is that? And that was made with the sprays and the aqua ink. And once this is dry, it's going to be completely like, it's going to hold its shape is what I'm saying, well, because we gessoed the surface. Now I do have some leftover on the plate, so I'm just gonna go with a copy sheet and just pick that up like so, and then it's a really cool print as well, but there's still more down, so I'll pull some more up, go around this side like so, and I'll clean off my brayer on the back this time. So, and that one didn't come up so much, but I can use that on that side if I want to. Okay, so from here, what I want to do is I want to actually take this little plate that I have with that gesso, continue to just gesso it out all over the surface like so. Pretty good coverage there. And let's just throw on, we're going to do 2 lifts on this, a ghost print, a regular print, and then also a ghost print. So I'm going to take a piece of copy paper, and I'm actually just going to fold it in half since this is a 5x7, and I'll do one side with one print and the other with the other. But I just wanted to show off this color, and so I'm going to take and do the lemon right there, and then I'm going to do this beautiful aqua green right here, like so. And then I just wanted to pull that so you can just see how that works. And again, this has clear gesso on it. And you could take these and create some leaves. That would be really pretty. All right. And then look how pretty that is. And it's still moving, which is okay. All right, and then let's pick up the residual of it on this side. That's a pretty cool ghost print as well. And that was with the spray and the gesso. And I'm probably gonna create some embellishments and die cuts with those. Something else that you may not know that you can do with your art crayons is you can actually use them on your gel press plates, the impressibles, which is what I was using. So I'm going to show you how you can do that as well. So for this technique, you're just going to take your art crayons, and I'm actually going to start off with this green one that I haven't used yet, which is the kiwi. And you're just going to start to actually color on your gel press plate. Now I have to tell you that the color will glide smoother the drier the plate is, all right, because it goes on dry, but then it also reacts with water. So it'll get on there just fine, but it definitely tends to work a little bit better if, like I noticed that it goes on better if the plate is completely dry. And I just cleaned this plate, so it's not entirely dry, but this is going to totally work. And I'm just adding some color in some random areas with this aqua green on some of these leaves, right? Then I'm going to go through with this green right here, which is apple. and I'm going to add a little bit more color on this. I know, I bet you never thought that you can use art crayons on a gel press plate, but you totally can. And then I'm gonna go over with the lemon and just go over and fill in all of those crayons that I may have missed, and I don't even know if I'm getting them all, but I'm just doing a little bit. It's so simple, this coloring. And if my tip gets other colors on it, it's okay, because I can just wipe it off. I don't have to be so concerned about that cross-contamination. All right, so from here, I want to take and I want to activate this by spraying with just a little bit of water to get it to start to move. And then I'm going to take a piece of regular copy paper for this technique, and I'm just going to go ahead and lay it on out. And as you can see, it's absorbing into the copy paper, which is kind of cool because I know exactly where my crayon is and how it's been picked up. And then voila, there you go. Now you have a very cool print that you can use in your art. And then I wanted to show you what you can do with the aqua ink on a regular little gel plate like this. I like to use the inks that are ones that are so movable like this. I like to use with a clear gesso or a media paste, like a heavy gel. And what's so fun about using these aqua inks is that since they are so wet, you have a little bit more open play time on your gel press. So I'm going to be able to actually try to add a little bit of texture. So I'm going to take with that clear gesso and I'm just going to brayer it on out like so. And then I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm just going to start to paint. I've already shaken up these little bottles and I'm just going to dab out some color. And as you can tell, you know, that's quite a bit of color right there, just on that little pickup that I did, right? And if I want, I can just take and brayer on a little bit more of the gesso. And I am being respectful of my color families right now, simply because, well, since they are so movable, I will get mud. So I am trying to be a little bit careful with them. And I'm not applying like that yellow. I did apply quite a bit of pressure. So for this one, I'm just dabbing it on, moving around that gesso just a tiny bit. And then I want to take my watercolor, and this one is the, I should have looked at the color before I started, huh? Oh, it's such a beautiful blue. It's the Graphite Aqua ink. I know it's on here. I know it is. Oh, darn it. It's the, oh, I'm not seeing the color, the name of it. Oh, it's on the top. Hello. That's the name of it. I'm all excited that I'm not paying attention. Okay, and then from here, you can just go ahead and dab this on through. And then I was gonna try to pick up a little bit of texture, but we might need to let it sit up a little bit. So I'm just gonna pop on some of that, and that did get a little bit of texture in there. All right, and it transfers that color around too, which is super fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up this first print. if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, I certainly hope that you consider doing so. And then also make sure that you hit that subscription, that little notification bell. It'll notify you every time I have a new video coming out. And also go check out the Marabu as well as our gel press channel. Leave any questions or comments down below. And if you enjoy it, please feel free to like it and share the video. That always helps us out a great deal. So check out that. So that's kind of fun. And then, you know, I still have another one right here, another pull. I feel it in my bones. So I'm just going to take that and just rub it on through. Like so. Pull that on up. And then I want to take, I have some leftover gesso. And so I'm just going to take, and there's some yellow in that. So I'm going to take that and just gesso it out like so. And then I think this time I'm going to take my red, and I might get a little bit of mud on this vermilion. And I'm going to just, I was thinking just to do that, but I'll go ahead and just pop some of that down like so, being a little bit careful. And I can just take, oh, look at me, I'm putting the wrong lids on things. I'm just having so much fun. And then since I put that down with that yellow, I'm just gonna take and gesso some of that on, brayer some of that on through like so. And then I'll take my used bubble wrap, and see how it has that color on it still from the last pull. It's still wet, so that's super cool. I will get copy paper right here. Just do this lift as well. So the aqua ink, everything works on the gel press, from the art spray to the aqua ink. Look how cool that is. Isn't that a lovely pull, right? So fun. And it looks like I might even be able to get one more. And so this time I'm just laying it out, and it has that beautiful vermilion on it. So I'm going to take, for this last pull, and just do some lemon. And then again, we'll just see what happens. See what happens. And let's do the other side of this. And this time I'm going to clean my brayer as I press this out. I always like to clean it on the back. It's not going to hurt anything, right? Oh, so cool. And then voila. So many options to do on your gel press with your art sprays by Marabu, as well as your aqua inks, and then of course your fabulous art crayons. Just as a recap, this was using the ink, and then that was the spray. This one was pretty much the ink alone, and I gessoed it. This is the pull that we did with the art crayons. No gesso on that one. And then we just played with the beautiful mixed media sprays for these. This was the regular, this was the ghost. And then of course for my wall is this one, which was the combination of the crayons first, and then the spray, and then just dabbing on the aqua ink on top of it. In addition to those, my cleanup was this, and underneath here, my play session before this includes these prints that I created, which include this one, and this is basically taking the aqua ink and just spreading it all over those retro leaves and pulling it. This one is the sprays, and I had laid down some gesso, clear gesso first. And then this one is the crayons. And what's so cool is if you want to keep the crispness of the image, I think that the crayons work really well for that because you can control how much water you put on it. And then that was the ghost print on that one. All right, you guys, I certainly hope that you are intrigued, that you enjoyed this. Please go check out Marabu's YouTube channel. They have a great one. I was over there doing research before I played with the projects here. I'm now subscribed to that. And then, of course, our Gel Press channel is top-notch with tons of inspiration and ideas for you on using your gel press with so many different things. I mean, sky's the limit. I bet half of you guys didn't even know you could use clear gesso on your gel press. And now you do. Until next time, I'm Beth Skolden. Happy crafting.